Rockland News, available on Apple, Spotify, and online at rocklandnews.com. Thanks for joining us today. Here are your hosts, Tom Osa and Mike Kluger.
I think if we created a new brand name this morning, it would be called Ass Dragon, because that's what we're doing. We got so much news to cover.
That's spelled A-Z.
Yes, A-Z.
D-R-A-G-O-N.
Don't want to mess with those FCC regulations or anything like that. So I'm your host, Tom Osa.
And I'm Mike Kluger.
Got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. Orange and Rockland substation in Sparkill explodes. Boom. Not a lot, but a little. But for the second time in a week, causes a major power outage. CSX train derailment causes delays in Haverstraw. Howard Phillips will be on to discuss. Follow up on the bus patrol interview, and we'll talk about Defiant Brewery and brewery in general. So, Mike, 3, 2, 1. How you doing?
How am I doing? Well, I'm not cold today. That's and you need sunglasses. It's bright. That sun is bright today. It's going to be somewhere in the 70s, maybe not quite 70 today. But yesterday, I was driving around. My car told me it was 83 degrees.
Yeah.
Spring has sprung. It is not even spring yet. We are still in winter.
I was out there walking the dog, and the winds told me that it was 83 degrees, and it was a beautiful thing, being enveloped in that warmth.
The balminess.
Yeah.
Like almost like we're in Florida.
Most indeed. And it feels like it's going to be I don't know if it's going to be like a really hot summer. It might be like a question of extremes, like a really cold winter, and then it becomes a really hot summer.
Last summer was the hottest summer on record.
I heard about that. That's pretty wild.
It is.
So we got a whole bunch of news to cover today, like we mentioned. But first of all, we want to thank our sponsors. We have, of course, the New York Boulders baseball team. Ladies and gentlemen, they are the premier baseball team in Rockland County, and dare I say, New York, because they are the New York Boulders.
That's
and
true.
On top of that, they also have their 15th anniversary season. Tickets are on sale now. Head to newyorkboulders.com. And we're looking forward to being there again because they have synthetic turf now. There's going to be a whole lot of events over there.
Hey, those events, they are something to be said.
Yep, totally. We got Work Smart New York Business Boot Camp coming up at the end of April. What else we got?
Yeah, boo. I was a little flat today.
That's all right. We're both a little flat. We're getting
a little
through
flat
this.
today.
Yeah.
Yahoo Fence in West Nyack.
Yeah.
Right. Data Pest Control of Stony Point, 3 generations, family-owned business. We know we love those family-owned businesses.
That's right. Get rid of all your pests except for your relatives. You can visit them at danapestcontrol.com.
It's all relative, just like Easy Temp will change the temperature of things.
It's all relative.
It's all relative. Right? Kobe Sushi.
With their Jazz Music Lounge located in New City, New York. Music on Wednesdays and Saturday nights. And if you mentioned the coupon...
the 15% coupon for
spending
$75?
Yes, that's right. You spend $75, you get 15% your offer. All you got to do is mention the most important words in all of your vocabulary. Rockland's News.
I heard it from Mike and Tom.
Susan Bova, Coldwell Banker Realty. Whole Shot Bagels, located in Haverstraw, New York. We're a fan.
Hold on. Award-winning.
Yeah, I'm telling you. They're part of like the best egg and cheese in Rockland County right now. There's a dude on Instagram. So I think they made it like the top 8 bracket. I didn't check in last night, but they're going to release the brackets this weekend.
No offense to anybody else's breakfast sandwiches, but I don't care where I am in Rockland. I want to go to Whole Shop for my sobo.
You want to just go there after this?
We might need to.
Let's just take our little road trip down to Haverstraw, New York, and check out Whole Shop Bagels. Do you know
how many different versions of caffeine you can get over there?
As a Colombian, I can appreciate that because I know all the derivatives of caffeine-related drugs.
There's even a Spanish coffee fountain.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that like coffee that spouts out of the top, like it's in front of the Bilardo?
No. If you remember the back in the day, like you'd see most of these look like slushy machines or something like that, and they've got like the tank on top, and it keeps it like circulating.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's that.
So is it like it pours like cappuccino and espresso and stuff?
I think it's like an iced coffee thing, but we're going to have to go and ask Clever in Victoria.
I find that actually, and we'll get back to our sponsors in a moment, and this is just me being like an old school curmudgeonly half Colombian. actually 44% Colombian. But I don't know. I always like my coffee hot. I don't care if it's like 110 degrees out. Like, I don't like this mocha frappuccino latte thing with the sugars and the creams and all
I
that.
want that in the middle of the afternoon when I would normally want a milkshake.
Yeah, right. Like,
I
if
want a
it's just-
caffeinated milkshake. That's when I want that.
Yeah, but in like the morning, just hot coffee in a coffee press. But the great thing about Whole Shop Bagels, I think they have both.
Not only do they have that, they have smoothies. They have soda. They have all sorts of things. Even handmade iced tea. They are making iced tea and lemonade for your delicious natural palates right there in the back of the store.
So I think we need to take a road trip after this episode, Mike.
And maybe we should see how many signs were done by 99 Signs. Because, tell me, Tom.
Well, a business without a sign
is a sign of no business.
It really is. So, like, you need signs. Let's put it this way. It's like that song, signs, everywhere signs. But these are signs that will help enhance your business presence in Rockland County. And if you need a digital sign, if you need a billboard sign, if you need a banner, if you need a lawn sign, any sort of signs, you got to check out 99 Signs because they can help you out with those.
Tom is a client of 99 Signs.
I am for Rockland.
And he has a full head of hair.
Well, let me check because it's starting out.
No, you still have a full head of hair. And
goodness.
there's very few grays in there.
Let me tell you, if my hair ever goes, I promise I will leave this radio show.
Why?
Because I don't want anybody to see me on the radio with...
You have a face for radio.
Okay, fine. FZ Perfection Auto Body Repair located in Congers. And I just talked with Frank the other day. This is a place where you can renovate your car outside so that it looks like you feel really good about yourself on the inside.
Oh, is that how that works?
Oh, absolutely. FZPerfection.com. Clean Space Maintenance Management Company. You get rid of all the stuff in your house and just haul it away. Clean Space Maintenance Management Company. Nanuet Town Center. Connect, experience, and live. Shopping, dining, events, and so much more, which we'll be talking about over the next several months because they are a premier partner of ours, Mike.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Well, I would like to talk about two of my friends who I would like to be sponsored soon, but I talked to them most recently. Was Nick from Noble Experiment Brewing in West Nyack, formerly Two Ladders.
Yes.
And my dear friend John of District 96 and Burger Loft.
That's right.
Go check out his stuff in his New City and Nyack locations.
Absolutely. Check them out. And we're actually going to be meeting up with them fairly soon. So we're looking forward to that.
And let's not forget La Terraza. We met with them recently.
Yeah, we met with La Terraza like about a week and a half ago. We did an interview with them. We have to do a follow-up interview that we're probably going to have on the air
because we like to be thorough.
Yes, yeah, comprehensive, thorough, and no explosions.
No explosions. And one day, Tom will find out about this cannabis thing.
Yeah.
When he does, it's going to be because he has gone through 202 cannabis enough.
Yes.
That he has become educated.
Because I want to scientifically
light it up and
understand this cannabis thing. I don't understand. I just don't get this cannabis thing, Mike. I don't know.
But I'm telling you, the folks at 202 Cannabis will teach you. They will educate you, and they will do it in a nice, kind manner.
Most indeed.
So we have a lot of news going on, right?
Yeah, we do.
Like substation fires, train derailments, like the apocalypse is coming. Breweries are shutting down.
Yeah, all we need is like lions, tigers, and bears, and we're covered.
Oh my.
You want to do the first one?
Where do we start? All
Please,
right. So
after you.
A fire at an Orange and Rockland substation in Orangetown triggered widespread power outages across southern Rockland County, leaving residents and businesses in the dark and sparking a flood of reports on social media. The utility outage map showed disruptions across multiple communities as crews worked to restore the service and assess the damage. Officials have not confirmed a definitive cause, that the incident involved equipment failure at the facility. It comes less than a week after another outage left about 7,000 residents without power overnight, adding to the frustration among customers already upset over reliability and high bills. Now, my presence in social media what I've been seeing, the Rockland residents are pissed off at Orange and Rockland, and I don't blame them, and I'm kind of with them because their billing is inaccurate, their services are inaccurate, and I'm not talking about the linemen. They do the best job they can. I am talking about the administration level of Orange and Rockland is abysmal.
Interesting, and that is the sentiment of many residents in Rockland County who regularly post from what we've seen on social media.
Right.
So Rockland News is looking at this from what's going on out there, sort of thing. But there is a plethora of individuals in Rockland County that are very upset with how much they're getting charged on their energy bills. Now,
I saw someone post that they want to have a class action lawsuit against Orange and Rockland.
There was talk about that. Yeah, I haven't followed up on looking at that, but I did see that. I scanned across it for a moment. And another thing that I noticed is that generally it's not just on social media. All right. Everything starts when you're really talking human to human.
Right.
So I'm at a meeting last week, the Bi-State Professional Networking Group. BSP.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't even know what two states that we're in.
What other people were there, not by their names, but like what they do?
40 different business professionals. All right. So we have like accountants, insurance people, a few lawyers, real estate, mortgage, web developer, points itself, Rockland Web.
Right. So
social media,
the administrative level of business.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right.
So I said, hey, and for those of you that know, we are doing a piece on Orange and Rockland and the billing practices. And, look, we don't know. We never know. But we, sense that there may be something wrong. And we're looking at it from the perspective of the public.
Of course.
So we're going to be.
Because we are the voice of Rockland. And we are hearing the cries of our Rocklanders who are struggling. And we want to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, it's kind of like that song Dust in the Wind, except there's no wind yet. We just sense that there's some dust that we have to kind of pick up on. All right, that was a horrible analogy.
It was. I'm like, how are we dust in the wind, man? I don't understand this. Who's blowing wind?
You said something about like the cries of the people, and I was trying to think of like a music analogy. And
I mean, like go to like the Rastas or something, man.
All we are is dust in the wind.
Yeah, that does not work with what's going on with
Very
this.
Sorry about that. But anyway,
power to the people.
All right.
How about that? Because literally, power to the people, ONR.
So we should play that. And
ONR, give those 7,000 people their power back.
First, to get the ability to put that out via copyright. But anyway, okay. So anyway, long story short is I'm at the meeting last week with the Bi-State Professional Networkers, BSPN for short, by the way. We've been together for 18 years, believe it or not. Really great professionals. And they come and go, but like the core group is there for many years. Now, I mentioned that we were just going to do a story on Orange and Rockland and how people feel about billing. So I said, anybody want to, mention if they're happy or not happy with their energy costs, and 2/3 of the room raised their hand.
And I bet you that the last third just didn't want to raise their hand because they were too tired because they had to keep rubbing sticks together to heat their house.
It's possible, and I'll tell you, this is a conservative group that doesn't necessarily jump at every chance to put themselves out there. They're they're in the trenches doing the business work, and they keep their heads down. They were very happy to put their hands up on this. So yeah, there's not just that, but also the substation in Sparkill that exploded. Minor explosion. I should note that within 2 hours, Orange and Rockland was able to get everything back up and running, but there were widespread outages across southern Rockland. I'm looking at a map from Orange and Rockland at the time. It affected Orangeburg, Sparkill, Tappan, Grandview on the Hudson, parts of Blauvelt, and I think parts of Pearl River too.
That's a lot of people. That's a dense area of population.
Exactly, yeah. And quite frankly, if this happened on St. Patrick's Day, people would not be happy.
I mean, they probably weren't happy regardless on what day it happened.
Right, but St. Patrick's Day in Pearl River?
This goes back to what we were talking about on Monday, where you have a larger company doing what it wants
Right.
to the detriment of the people. We were speaking on Admiral's Cove on Monday, and that was specifically to about 250 units worth of residents.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about a county, 2 counties
Right.
full of people that I don't know about our neighbors up in Orange County, but the screaming and the yelling and the energy coming off of the folk of Rockland County that are upset with this company. We need to do something, Tom, as the voice, and get down to it. I don't know what to do, but we need to find some answers for our people.
Most indeed, just like we're doing with Admiral's Cove, right?
Right. Oh, and speaking of which,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to formally on the radio apologize for my aggressiveness towards Bus Patrol, because it was another company that sent the letter. So it was emulating just what Bus Patrol was saying. So I thought it was them.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so long ago that I had the conversation that when I finally got the copy of the letter that was sent, there was something called like safety bus or auto bus or whatever. And what I want to remind the citizens is if you're not offered a chance to be represented in court or have your day in court, like
Yes.
Safety Patrol, the
like Bus Patrol
Bus
does.
Patrol
Yeah.
is doing, you really need to go right to the sheriff's department, because the letter that I was looking at, there was no go to Rockland and go have your day in court. It was send us $275 to someplace in Massachusetts. Oh wait, no, it's in Connecticut. No, and it was a smartly guised, what seems to be a scam,
Mm-hmm.
that emulated something that was real.
Right. Yeah.
And
exactly.
this is my concern.
It was
for
like
the
a
rest of the
phishing
citizens.
scam from some random company out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And my concern is, like, I hope to be a very well-informed citizen of Rockland. I like to get all the news and talk to everybody on the air about it. Talk to you about it, Tom. Right?
Yeah, man.
And it unnerves me that it was so easy, because again, the letter was dated from 2024,
Mm-hmm.
and in that short of a time, which happens to coincide around the same time that our interviewee was on.
Ryan from Bus Patrol was on Monday. Yeah.
Right, because Ryan said they started in the summer of 24.
Yes.
This letter was dated 2 months prior to that.
Got it. All right. So I'm guessing probably like the number correlation of 2024, and then
Right.
Okay.
Because it happened roughly at the same time.
Yes.
Which tells me that we have to be careful as citizens not to just read what's on the paper and assume that is true.
Mm-hmm.
But like we've been saying the whole time, reach out to your friends, your family, your elected officials.
Yeah.
The sheriff's department wants to hear from you if you have concerns,
Mhm.
if you have questions, if you want to do the right thing. I would be very surprised if our county executive would say, "Don't tell them what the law is." Right?
Yeah, exactly. He's a former law enforcement
right.
officer.
So if you're curious, there are ways to go ask that don't blow back on you. You're allowed to know these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have Freedom of Information Acts and all sorts of things.
Thank goodness.
And if you are shy or don't know, please reach out to us at
rocklandnews.com/alerts. And and I should say, in fairness, Mike, I appreciate that you said that. The good news is I spoke with Bus Patrol afterwards. We actually did some on-air clarifications of that.
Right.
So they weren't concerned, because we made sure that we gave them the time to speak their point. And it actually worked out in a way, because what happens is, one, we weren't aiming for like a softball interview. But I think what happened was, you and I, we had different expectations of how to approach the interview. Mine was from the nerd standpoint.
Mine
Mine was,
hold on,
dude,
baby,
these are cameras. They're
Baby
so
with a gun.
cool. How does this work? And just for
baby with a machine
baby
gun.
with a machine. Yeah, exactly. But I'm just like, wow, cameras that prevent people from going past a school bus so that lives can be saved. In other words, like the kids get off the school bus and this stop arm and the cameras and everything, like, if anybody does pass the school bus, then they get hauled in court for passing a school bus.
Hold on, and I want to make a point.
Yeah.
You get to have your day in court.
You get to have your day in court. Yes, exactly. It's not just get into court. There's a process.
Or just pay us a fee.
Right.
There is none of this is just pay us a fee unless that's what you choose to do.
Yeah.
Right? You have the option to go speak your piece.
Yeah. The accusation is blessed by the sheriff's office, but you still have the opportunity to, well, let's call it unbless it. So,
well, it's not even that. It's that all technology we have, there's not a piece of technology we have that isn't that's 100%. There's
True.
always a failure rate.
Oh, absolutely.
And
we're seeing that.
One of the things that we need to remind ourselves of almost on a daily, multiple times a day, is that what we see in front of us is not always what it seems.
Yes. Prima facie is not always the case.
But there are ways
Yeah.
to cross-check.
Right.
Right? Don't just walk around in your head, isolated. Ask us at AM Rockland.
RocklandNews.com/alert.
Or you can go directly to the mouth if you want to call the sheriff's department. If you have any questions for the county or your towns or your villages, all of your elected representatives would like to hear from you. They have told us this on our show.
Absolutely.
They would like to hear some positive things too. But
well, I got some positive news right
Give us
here.
some positive news.
Town of Haverstraw Supervisor Howard Phillips says a late night CSX freight incident early Tuesday once again highlighted longstanding safety concerns along the West Shore Railway.
I thought you said this was a happy one.
It was a setup.
You set me up.
Two freight cars reportedly separated from the rest of the train shortly after midnight, blocking West Side Avenue and New Main Street for more than an hour. And it's funny, this is also the second time in just a few years where this happened as well. Now, Phillips did say that there was no fire, no spill, no major emergency. But again, the incident renewed fears about what could happen if rail traffic cuts off access through densely populated neighborhoods. And he also said that recent infrastructure improvements help lessen the impact, but emphasized that rail safety remains a serious concern in North Rockland. And he also pointed out that CSX used to be a 2-line commuter train and freight.
Yeah.
They took down one line and they only have a single line going through. So he pointed out, he's like, we need more commuter lines in Rockland County.
Right. And CSX has pushed back on that a lot. I remember back in the day sitting in meetings with Mayor Mike Kohut, and at the time, Nita Lowy was sitting around that table, and they were arguing about the tourism part of Haverstraw and the lack of accessibility unless you have a car or you're riding the bus.
You were in that meeting?
It was being done at the time RCC Haverstraw.
Right, I remember.
And I was there as representative for RCC and a citizen of Haverstraw.
All right.
Very cool. But there was a lot of people in that meeting, and the push was at Nita Lowy, who was our elected official at the time, saying that we need more ferry service, we need more train service. And this is one of the reasons why I am so pro Mike Kohut. And I don't care what color he is. I am pro the man, Mike Kohut, as the village of Haverstraw. He's been fighting for the village for like 20, 30 years.
Yeah, he's cool.
And I literally watched him take out the trash during a festival.
Yeah.
So this is a village mayor who takes out the trash.
And I saw him get the lights back on for the holiday festival.
So he's an electrician and a trash man and a mayor and a fireman.
Yeah, and he's proud of all of those titles, which makes a really cool human being.
He really is. So, like, not from a political place, but from a thank you, Mike Kohut, for being an awesome dude.
Yeah, and he's very low. The vibe I get.
He's not paying us, by the way.
He's
he doesn't even know we're saying this.
Yeah, exactly. Like the vibe I kind of get from him is that he's very, very confident and comfortable in his own skin, But beyond that, he doesn't need to dress up to show it. Like,
No, he
whenever
doesn't dress up at all.
Well, I mean, he puts pants on.
I mean, yeah, but he's a checkered shirt and jeans kind of
Yes,
guy,
yeah.
right? He is a regular old like
He's the guy that I would want in charge if, God forbid, I'm going to say that, if
and the creek don't rise.
a nuke went off locally and we only had, like, a day, like in that show Jericho.
Mhm.
If we only had a day left to really get our citizens protected and sheltered, and get all the food and amenities together, just so that everybody's bunkered until the
Mhm.
radiation goes over and we don't
I mean, you're
die
going
of
to
radiation.
extreme
I would
place.
want Mike Kohut like in charge. I think.
You're going to extreme place, but the actual reality of us having a toxic event because of CSX,
Mhm.
the odds of that are not zero, right?
Well, I would agree. Yeah, I would actually agree because there's a lot of stuff that gets hauled. I mean, Phillips told us on the air. I didn't even know this. They're a Fortune 500 company,
Mhm.
and I mean the amount of material they move, even on a daily basis across the nation, is you're talking in the obviously the millions of dollars, but probably the tens or hundreds of millions of just material.
And as I understand it, and we are connected to the elected officials, so Tom could probably tell me if I'm correct or not. CSX does not pay not one dime to Stony Point, Haverstraw, Clarkstown, or Orangetown for running their trains through there.
I have no idea, but what I do know is that Phillips also stated that they are not very community friendly. So as far as what they give to the community in the form of whatever mechanism there is legally, it's a pittance.
Well, that gets my ire up because we are all about community on this show.
Mm-hmm.
So I will continue personally as a citizen and as professionally as your voice, help those like Howie Phillips and Mike Kohut fight the good fight. I assume Amy Conklin Stam is going to learn that fight too because it goes through her town as well.
Yes, she has a
And-
gleam in her eye, and I think that she's ready to go.
Oh, she's ready to put on the gloves and fight CSX.
Well, I think whatever serves the interests of Stony Point, I think she's ready to go.
If we went back to like 5,000-year-old tribalism, we would get
I thought that was this show.
Kohut and Howie Phillips and Amy, and give them shields and spears and get their representative from CSX, and we just fight it out.
Right. That's I watched this show lately. It's called and it's an old show. It's called Suits.
Okay.
And it's, I mean, basically cutthroat corporate attorneys basically just going at it. Even in their own firm, they're battling it out. And just the banter and the repartee is just off the charts. So
that would be fun.
yeah. So, and we got, just another thing real quick is that the Route 304 paving project. You want to do that one, Mike?
I definitely want to do the next one, but I'll do this one too.
Yeah.
A major road improvement project is coming to Rockland County, with state officials announcing a $16 million repaving effort along Route 304 beginning in the spring. The work will cover a stretch from the south of West Nyack Road to Route 9W and will include milling, resurfacing, concrete repairs, drainage monitoring, fresh pavement markings, and safety improvements. Overnight construction is planned to limit daytime traffic disruption. Local leaders say that the project addresses years of complaints over potholes, uneven pavement, safety concerns on one of the county's busiest north-south corridors.
Yeah. Right behind me, Mike, there is a book that I'm scared to read through entirely.
Because it makes predictions?
Well, it's about a known historical figure named Nostradamus.
I have read things of Nostradamus, both that he has written and things about him.
Yes. And, to me, I'm just like, I want to look at it from a historical angle. But
That's how I feel about the big man Jesus.
Indeed.
The Romans wrote about him as a human being. I like to refer to him as the people of my birth.
Dig it. Most indeed dig it.
Right?
You know?
Not to get into religious stuff,
No, no,
'Cause
no.
I'm not
I hear you. I hear you, and I appreciate that. I mean, hey, listen, it's being able to create a vibe that allows the column of progress to move forward. I think that's noble. You actually, Noble Experiment. That was the brewery that you checked
well,
out,
we
right?
will address that on our net. Are we done talking about the
No,
304
I was just
project?
going to say about the Nostradamus
Okay.
thing. So this is, obviously I'm prognosticating, of course, but I don't want to go too far ahead. Remember last year I said, traffic was going to be the thing that Rockland Boys was going to focus on.
You've also been addressing that the last couple of weeks. Yes.
Yes. All right. So, let's put the dots
Hold on,
together.
wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where are our guardrails?
Exactly. Guardrails, over like the four corners, right? Plus you got bus patrol. Plus you got, the Feast of Purim. We did the little road trip a few weeks ago. Like,
Oh,
just to make
Muncie
sure-
Land.
driving
Our
and stuff like
affiliates
that.
over in Muncie Land will probably have more videos up soon.
Forget about it. Yeah. And, finally now you have this repaving project. So that's really the angle that Rockland's News is looking to take. And it wasn't in the terms of trying to be like Nostradamus. It was just really just piecing together the signals versus the noise. So, we're going to stay on this topic over the next several months because we do need significant amounts of repaving all across Rockland County. Mike, we're gearing up for a major repaving project going down Route 9W. That's going to be wild.
Right. And we've just had a lot of digging and repaving because of Chippy.
Yep.
And their pipeline. And that also ties back to Orange and Rockland.
Yes.
Which, again, the citizens are already upset with them.
Yes.
But I would like to talk about something that is still business oriented, but more closer to home, more about the hearth that's not in your home,
Mm-hmm.
the local pub.
Yes.
So we have the sad news of announcing,
Yep.
well, re-announcing, I guess.
Re-announcing. We're going to be
raising the bar that Defiant Brewery, the oldest brewery in Rockland County over 2 decades, is closing its doors at the end of this month.
correct.
So they will be shutting down their Pearl River location, which is their only location, after a 2-decade run.
Mhm.
Now, on
Good
the flip
run.
side, yesterday I met with Nick from Noble Experiment Brewing, and he is the newest brewery in Rockland County.
Mhm.
Defiant was a very large operation relative to the industry of craft brewery,
Mhm.
right? Although they did not have the biggest brewery in Rockland County, they had a very large space. And I don't think the rent in Pearl River is cheap, especially right across from the train station.
Mhm.
So I don't know if part of Neil Acer is the owner of Defiant Brewing. I don't know if it became an issue that the industry is having where the younger generations and a lot of folk are not consuming as much alcohol.
That's
And-
part of it. There
and that
you
is
go.
part of it.
And I
Now-
brought that up yesterday on the small business spotlight. So
Okay.
we're without even hearing it, I'm hearing it from you.
Right. One of the things that Nick and I talked about is how a lot of craft beverages got stuck into this IPA craze, and you'd have 12 taps and you'd have 3 different styles of only beer, and how you need to have something for everyone. Not that you're going to please everyone all the time, but if 5 people are walking into your establishment to eat food and consume beverages of any
Right.
kind, it is nice to have a variety for a variety of people. You get more folks in.
Mhm.
Nick's place, when you pull down in front of the building, it looks almost like nothing.
Mhm.
Like a weird yellow door next to a deli. And you walk in and it is this rich, dark wood,
Yes. I've been there.
cool effect lighting. It's a narrow place with the bar. They've got 12 taps. When we post my interview, Nick went into all of the beers that he has on tap now.
Mhm.
the brewery's in the back. You can see it from the minute you walk in the door. When I walked into that interview, he was actively brewing. So I got that smell of rich, fresh. It's not even beer yet. It's just that barley soaking. It smells so good. Sweet and delicious. One of the things that craft beverage does to make it easier for them to do what they need to do to survive is they either contract with or own food trucks. And we know that food trucks are a growing trend in America, Rock County, New York. So they have their own. Nick is a professional chef, trained chef.
Right.
And we were talking about how he's going to survive. His brewery is less than a year old, and especially in the light of the oldest brewery shutting down. Now his space is small. So I'm guessing it is easier to do what you got to do.
Right.
But when I asked him about his vibe, and this is what I want to get into.
Vibe.
Right? Defiant, and don't get me wrong, I loved everything that the Defiant people were trying to do. Like, they made a go of it. They lasted for 20 years. But I think that the balance between the size of their establishment and the vibe of the industrial warehouse brewery versus what Nick said. Nick said, I want to be like Cheers.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah, where everybody knows your name.
Right. So why is that important? Because we're talking about getting people out of their house to go to a social thing. In the past, the industry was always like, beer is bulletproof, because during bad times, during good times, everybody wants to drink. That is no longer the case for a number of different reasons.
By the way, we'd also like to thank our friends over at 202 Cannabis, located on Route 202 in Garnerville. Now, I don't know about this cannabis thing,
but you do know that you can drive through to get your cannabis. Yes,
it is the first drive-through cannabis dispensary in all of Rockland. They have bud tenders that can basically walk you through all the different 400 different terpenes and 2 different major types of cannabis, such as sativa, indica. There's tinctures, there's gummies, there's greenery, otherwise known as flower, and you can learn all about this over at 202cannabisco.com. Mike, please continue with your story.
Did you know that one of the cousins in the plant world of cannabis is the hop plant? And the hop plant is important, listeners, because it is the main ingredient in beer.
Mostly IPAs, right?
The number of hops, all or is that beer. During some sort of old German beer law from 1500s, they came out with the German purity law, and you are only allowed to have barley, hops, and
yeah, there's another one. It's like hops, and then there's something on the other end of it.
It was like you couldn't put adjuncts, you couldn't do anything else. But anyway, beer as we know it is made with basically barley and hops with water and yeast.
Right.
That is
hops and malts.
Well, that's the barley.
Okay.
You have to take your grain. You have to malt it, which is a process we will get to on another show.
Because we're going to break this down scientifically.
Well, part of our budding new series that we're going to have called OK Rockland.
Okay. Oh, we're announcing it.
We're gonna announce it, because part of what I want to talk about on OK Rockland are all the things that are okay. And one of the things that's okay is going out and having a beer with your friends.
Now, I want to know, even though Mike and I are over 50 years old, this isn't like our version of OK Boomer. It's quite the difference.
It is the opposite of that. This is what's cool to do in Rockland.
Stuff that's more than okay. It's just fantastic.
Stuff to make you, if you're feeling down, this might make you okay. Because you know what? If you're feeling down, your spirit's down, you're feeling hungry, Nick over at Noble Experiment Brewing not only can give you 12 different ales to try, I hear he makes the best cheesesteak out of his food truck in the back.
Now you got me listening, because I'm not like a huge beer guy,
but you do like a good cheesesteak, right?
I do like a good cheesesteak.
Now, not only that. So like I mentioned, like when you pull up in front of Noble Experiment, it's in a tiny little strip mall, and it almost looks like nothing. You go in there and you get this like dark wood with the lighting, and you get it's like the comfy bar, and everyone's being like all friendly and all. But if you walk all the way through to the back, there's an entire outdoor back deck to sit and enjoy your libations, enjoy your cheesesteak on. We don't have enough outdoor places to chill out. And well, if we do, we need to go find them and tell our listeners, because I know I struggle
Mm-hmm.
with going to find a place where if I want to have some food and drink, can I be outside? Because today's glorious.
Right. District 96, great example. So behind District 96
Correct.
is a very, very large outdoor patio area.
Correct.
And that's really something, tying it back to Defiant Brewery, unfortunately wasn't there. There is an outside, it's like, it's in a warehouse area in Pearl River, but that was something that was, and it was still cool. And for the record,
Because
I've
it's a
been
different
there
vibe, right?
dozens and dozens of times over the
it's-
last 20 years.
It's that industrial vibe only gets you so far.
Right. Now, I have a theory to forward, and I brought this up on yesterday on Rockland's News, the Small Business Spotlight,
Mhm.
at 3:30 in the afternoon on Tuesdays. And I brought up, and I'm really glad that we're bringing up the brewery thing, because what I mentioned, and you're much more of an expert on breweries,
And
for the record.
Listeners, I intend to interview every single craft beverage maker in
Ooh.
Rockland County. Every single one. I want you to know who they are. I want you to know what they have, and I want you to know where they are so you can go check it out.
You just gave me a bustle in my hedgerow, man.
Nice. It's just a sprinkly for the May Queen.
Yeah. Yeah, Zeppelin.
All right. So I am telling you right now, as part of OK Rockland, even though we are announcing it on AM Rockland, that I
love
am
all these
going to
names.
go and interview these small businesses, specifically the craft beverage ones, because I want to know. I figured some of you guys might want to know too.
Exactly. And you already have a list, and we're already going through it. So
Yeah.
it's already there. So
So-
check it out. We're going to be on this soon. OK Rockland is going to be the name of the new afternoon live stream. We're not figuring out the schedule yet, but it's definitely going to be a thing.
But we're going to talk about all of the cool small businesses that Tom and I have discovered in Rockland.
Yeah.
That we've come and talked to, all the events that are happening. We will not be talking about train derailments or traffic or the weather. We're going to talk about fun stuff like Kobe Sushi has jazz on Wednesdays and Saturdays, that kind of thing.
Got it.
So, listeners, check out these craft beverage places. They're not always what they seem from the outside, because from a person who's been going around checking out all sorts of craft beverage for close to 3 decades now.
Wow.
Noble Experiment is not what it seems from the outside.
Yeah, it's amazing.
District
on the inside.
96 is not what it seems like from the outside.
Yep.
Like the thing I loved about District 96, opposite of Noble Experiment, you walk into District 96 and there's so much natural light in the building.
Exactly.
Like from the front, it just looks like a weird old storefront, which, however the architects designed it, they did.
Mhm.
But you walk in there, and what John did to transform both his brewery space and the burger loft space,
Mhm.
like the light is just pouring in from the back of the building, and it just makes it feel so big and warm and inviting. Like you expect like musicians to pop out anywhere, and you're going to be entertained at any second.
Mhm.
Versus this like really cool feel of like you're walking into almost like the Green Dragon Inn, to take one from Tolkien, where it's a place where everyone's kind of gathering together and talking and drinking and discussing the world.
You figure that mead would be served. The mead.
Mead
what
or
I'm
meat?
Mead. MEAD.
The oldest alcohol known to man.
Exactly. Oh, I love mead. There's this place up in Orange County that we should definitely talk about. I don't have the name of it, but what I will mention, and again, tying it back over to Defiant Brewery, and they are closing at the end of the month. what you mentioned about the atmosphere inside is pretty much what I brought up yesterday on the air. And I said, yes, the beer was acceptable. Okay.
There
At
was a
Defiant
variety
Brewery.
of beer that if you took the time to go in and talk to your beer bartender
Mhm.
and try and figure out what you like, you could probably find a beer at Defiant that you liked.
And they also had really, really amazing barbecue over there. Thumbs up on the barbecue. I'd say it's up in the A rating. Every time I had meal there, be it like lunch or dinner, it was awesome. But they didn't have the third thing, and it was really that atmosphere. And specifically because of there's this huge stage on the left-hand side that's and they had the opportunity to do this for years. Turn Defiant Brewery into a solid music destination where people thought of it as like, hey, who's playing over at Defiant this weekend? They never did that exactly. And that was my problem with them. And by the
Well-
way, just as a note, we tried for years. Aaron, which was the name of I guess the manager over there, was there for years. You know, I'd call her, I'd text her. I was like, hey, we're looking to book something this weekend and everything. And ghosted. Now, it's either because I am a horrible, terrible person that shouldn't
Oh,
exist
you're
on
so
planet
bad.
Earth,
You're so bad you should be in detention.
or maybe it's that the lack of responsiveness was not just me. And I checked online when we posted the article about Defiant Brewery, and other people said that responsiveness was not there, and they had a lot of trouble really trying to, get communication from people. They operated on a skeleton crew toward the end of the evening. I get it, cut costs and
Right.
everything like that. But here's the problem. So you go to 2021, COVID ends. And now you have all these breweries, Mike, that are popping up that have the quality inside. They spent time really cultivating the atmosphere. Defiant just relied on an older business model.
Well, and I think part of the issue, and I'm going to circle back to the size of what Defiant became, because it didn't start off that big,
Right.
right? It started off in a much smaller space and expanded. And one of the things that they talk about in brewing school when you're trying to open your brewery is you really need to have a solid 5 and 10 year plan, because the thing that crushes breweries the most is not being able to scale up.
Yes, exactly. You got to
now-
be able, whatever your business model is, you got to be ready to scale when it
What
happens.
happens on the flip side of that, when the economy is downturn, when everything gets more expensive, when everything that you were trying to do based on 20-year-old plan has now changed? Because I know for a fact, because I had this conversation with Neil, that he was getting most of his grain from special malt house in Belgium by the sea container.
Really?
Right.
That's
So what
intense.
happens now that the world economy has shifted and that we're having issues? I suspect part of Neil's issue is that he is unable to get the resources from a place to provide the same product that he's been providing. That is just one iron in the fire. I don't disagree with what you're saying, Tom, about his event schedule was not robust enough to support his barbecue and his beer, which the barbecue was excellent. I always found a beer that I could drink there that I either loved it because there were a couple that I really loved, or just like, hey, this is new and interesting. I never thought about it. Like an orange creamsicle beer. And like,
That's kind of cool. I never tried that, admittedly.
I thought it was weird, but I sat down with the bartender and I said, I just want like a little, just a shot of that, just to taste it, right?
Boom. Yeah.
Just to taste it. And I was like, this is so good. I want a big one of this.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's a lot of times I'll try these beers and I'm like, oh, you did a great job, but I can't drink a pint of that because it's just too much on the tongue, right? Or I'm not drinking 22 ounces of 12% beer because I still got to drive home, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
When you go to these craft beverage places, the owners want to engage with you. They would not be in this business. They would not hire the people they're hiring if they didn't want you to come in and talk and enjoy the passion. I tell you, that Nick from Noble Experiment is one of the biggest beer geeks I have ever met.
Hmm.
Off the record, we talked more about beer nerdy stuff than I knew the listeners wanted to handle, especially for our AM show.
And by the way, we have your interview. You sent it in last night.
I
We're gonna
did.
be
I did. We had so
playing
much
that.
fun.
Yeah.
I have gotten to this place in the beer industry where I really want to let the folks know that it's not all IPAs,
Mhm.
that it's not all big industrial factory beer stuff. Because if you do want that big experience, Round Table Brewing up in West Haverstraw at
Mhm.
Garner Arts Center, they have the biggest brewery in the county, and they have a nice, cool, casual tasting room.
Mhm.
But for the most part, their place is a big factory,
Right.
right? And each one of these craft beverage places is so different than the next.
Mhm.
I was commenting to Nick just yesterday when I was looking at his brewing system. I'm like, it's like jammed into like the size of someone's, not even someone's living room, right? And
Mhm.
he's got everything jammed in there, and he's kind of moving around. I'm like, you couldn't have an assistant if you wanted to, Nick. This you're like right in the middle of it all.
Yeah.
Whereas like you go to Round Table, and it's these huge towers of stainless steel and catwalks and like in this huge warehouse, right? Each one of them has something different to offer you. So it's not one of those like, well, I only have my favorite and I can only go here. Because
Yeah.
if that was the case, I would never leave Railroad Avenue, because David Ludwig over at Stony Point Brewing, have a Bricktown Beer House, makes excellent beer, and it's the closest one to my house.
Mhm.
That being said, there's other beers to try and other environments to go check out, right? And on the converse, if you are walking distance from one of these places,
Mhm.
go have a walk and have a talk,
Without a doubt.
right?
I want to be fair to Defiant Brewery as well, and this isn't, in any way saying that they failed. They developed an awesome following over there. They also got hornswoggled by the property owners because they didn't renew part of the area where Defiant was with the events area.
Right.
So, now they're landlocked and they can't have events there.
Right.
And, that's not their fault. Like, they
Right.
couldn't do
Right.
that. So that's a problem.
This is where I was getting to about the opposite of growth, right? So what happens to businesses like that? Because we always want to talk about this is what you got to plan for getting bigger, plan for getting bigger. Well, what happens when you're 10, 20 years in and you're bigger, and now you can't be bigger,
Mhm.
and everything costs too much?
Mhm.
Now you got to figure out how to get smaller.
Yeah.
And we are not set up in America for getting smaller. We're always set up for getting bigger.
Yes, exactly.
Everything is getting bigger. Prices get bigger. The inflation rate gets bigger. Unemployment gets bigger.
Yeah, it's the truth.
So how do let's put some business sense, because Tom, you are a business expert, 18 years in
I wouldn't
business.
call it expert. There's something I learn new every single day. And
That is one of the reasons why you're an expert, because you are constantly learning. Now,
thank you. I appreciate it.
the question becomes, how does a business get smaller? Because we don't ever talk about that. And we have just noticed what happens if you don't know how to get smaller.
Yeah.
This is what happened with Defiant.
I actually just went through this over the last 6 months.
So
I get to walk you through it.
Yeah. So as a general concept to those small business owners, and we really love our small businesses here on the AM Rockland Show, we want to reach out to all of you. If you are listening to our show, you own a small business, and we don't know who you are, please reach out to us. We want to interview you. We want to talk to you. We want to get online and talk about your products and your services.
Truth.
Because we believe in Main Street USA.
Yeah, totally. Well, do you want me to?
Yeah, tell our listeners out there about getting smaller, because sometimes you need to get smaller.
Okay, well,
to survive.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I'll tell you, it is not easy to get smaller, especially when, you've been able to get to a certain scalable size in your company. I'll try to condense this because I specifically wanted this show to be about the breweries and about like the changing landscape. And I think, Mike, you've accomplished that. So for those of you, as like, I'm sitting back in awe listening to the whole thing. So
And
it's
if you
awesome.
have any questions, please contact us at
rocklandnews.com/alert.
Thank you.
All right. So with that said, I might have mentioned this on the show once or twice before, but in 2023, we had a huge problem. I was literally, Mike, right where you're standing in the studio here.
Mhm.
That's exactly where I was when I found out that we were out of money. I had a $5,000 bill that I owed to an employee. I also had $2,000 in server costs from the month before,
Which is different than a brewer's server cost.
for our 160 hosted website clients that we've cultivated over the course of 14 years and counting at that point.
Okay.
And I remember this very clearly. I went online and I looked at one of our biggest clients. Thank you, CED Engineering, for always sticking with us. And the website was down. I'm like, uh-oh. Then I went to my second biggest client. I should say our second biggest client in the company, Jornik. That website was down. Then I went to Stromberg brand, the Hudson Valley Umbrella Company, third largest company. That website was down. And I had a moment. And Mike, you see that area over there?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm looking at
On
a
the
bunch of
wall.
cool posters. It's our music festivals and a poster of a picture of a young man behind a ship steering wheel, and the leader of the religion of the
There
people
was
of
a
my
blank
birth.
wall that I was looking at.
You're waving your hand around. I'm talking to the people about what I'm saying.
All right. There's
All
a
right.
blank wall, and
I
that's
see a sequin hat.
I saw the abyss. Basically,
That's outside.
No, I know. I saw the end,
Okay.
the end of everything. My business, everything that I've been working for, and I had this moment where it's like basically being at the singularity and like, okay, here comes the black hole, end. That's what it felt like. And at that moment, I decided, first of all, I'm going to fix it. And then I'm going to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And then we set off on a 3-year journey to rebrand the company. So first of all, I got the bills actually taken care of by the end of the day. I was able to call in a few bets. We were able to get capitalized again, and we're good to go. And not like financing, like, from people that owed us money. Okay. So back up and running, right? The long story short of this is that we had to get smaller.
Yeah, and this is the lesson that I'm trying to bring to our listeners. How does one get smaller?
Yeah, what I had to do was basically decide who to fire.
Oof.
Yeah, and it wasn't our team yet. It was first we had to start deciding who to fire of our customers. Because some of our customers were dragging us down.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Like, for instance, I'll give you Art Conservation, okay?
We don't have to name names.
Oh, no. She came after me, so I'm going after her. We took care of them faithfully for years and years and years. We actually gave them a data backup of their own website, and then they came at us like we did something wrong. I'm like, we're giving this to you for free. You left us years and years ago. We're giving it to you for free, and you're giving us a hard time about it. So no love lost there. We had to get rid of those types of clients that were always just curmudgeonly and rude.
Sucking
and
your energy more than the money was worth.
Sucking the time, sucking everything. So we made a decision. We got rid of about 60 of our clients.
Interesting.
We also did fire a bunch of people at the company that were underperforming. In order to scale back, you have to get rid of the dead wood. Jack Welch talks about every year, fire 10% of your underperformers in the company. And it does two things. One, it keeps you lean and mean. And two, it also lets everybody else know, and again, it's 90% that remain, that, okay, you know what? We got to make sure that we do our job. And the 90% obviously are treated very well. But in this case, we got rid of probably I'd say probably about 75% of the team that was here in 2023 is no longer here. We got brand new people that are well trained. We actually have a human resources department now. We pay in advance our team. So
Now, not
to
everyone can
condense
do
it,
that.
yeah,
though, right?
exactly. So to condense it is like you got to get rid of your old processes. You got to get rid of the things that don't work in the company, and you got to take that jump and say, you know what, this may or may not work. But if you keep on expanding with an underperforming business model, then you're in trouble. But also, if you're locked in a box where you can't expand, you're also in trouble.
Right. And I feel like, regardless of the other financials, the main sort of Damocles, to pull a phrase, for Defiant was they had expanded their physical space to a point, and then the business that was going on did not meet up to the expectations.
Yeah.
So he was left with this big space. Now, what do you do with it? Right.
Right. What do you do?
And it becomes difficult to dial that back. I mean, from an ego place, you don't want to dial that back because then it is feeling like you're not progressing. But what you're saying is, if you can take a look at the things that you are looking at that, and you feel like it's your identity, it's kind of like, don't hold on to the anger, even though you forget who you are with that anger, kind of thing. You got to release and really look at what is driving your company and who is bringing not just the money and the revenue in, because you, like you said, you got rid of clients.
Key performance indicators are what they're called. What are the key performance indicators, KPIs?
Right.
And the things that you look at, and oftentimes actually, you got to look at your numbers, but more importantly, you got to know your numbers.
Well, from a place of passion and heart, because you are the brain, Tin Man, and I am the Scarecrow with all the heart, right, and no brain.
Scarecrow Fields. We did that podcast for at least 6 months.
One of the things I'm taking out of what you're saying is that just because it's a revenue source does not mean it's good for your company. So you can have toxic revenue sources.
Yes, exactly. Right? You got it. There you go. So, it looks like profit, but it's not. It's just bringing money in that twice of it, that amount goes out.
Right, because there's an exchange of revenue in cash versus the energy that you were expending, whether it's as a service agency or a factory agency or any of those kind of things. That if the amount of energy that you are putting in to build a product for somebody, create a product, serve a product, however it is, if that energy is more than the financial gain, then what are you doing?
Exactly.
And to your point, it's, you can remove some of that financial gain that's sucking up extra energy. And like I do in the plant world, when you trim your plants, it gives your plant, frees up the resources to put it to the stuff that's actually growing well.
Kind of like a bonsai tree, just doing like the very, very light trimming sometimes.
Right. Or in your case, you said you had to trim very heavy.
Sometimes you got to cut hard to get the cancer out.
Right. Or cut hard to get the plant to fruit.
I had an employee, no names. Remember I mentioned that BSPN group?
Yes.
Okay. So we had a networking group. We still have a networking group for the last 19 years. And we had a photo shoot that we were doing. We did headshots for everybody. We had like about 30 people at this thing. I brought on who I thought was a professional photographer onto our team. She screwed up at least a half a dozen projects. Not all at once. Bless you. Little by little by little, she got like worse and worse. So the first one was like, you messed up 10%. Next time was 20%. Next time was 40%. And we got worse and worse. She's setting up her camera in order to take photos. And she literally, somebody like bumped into her. She backs up, runs right into her own camera,
knocks it off. And since we're not regulated by the FCC, I'll just say what she said in front of my 30
And I quote,
business colleagues. Motherfucker! Well, the whole room went silent and they all looked at me because I was the one that brought her.
well, and that goes back to know who your employees are and know what they're good at.
Yep.
And know what situations to not bring them around into.
And you know what was funny about that, Mike? I kept her on the team after that. I gave her a chance and she still shit the bed.
Well, because like you're talking about, there are toxic parts of your company and that universal you, not Tom. But
she plays some Meshuggah.
well, we all a little crazy here. When you are looking at your company and looking at your growth potential, I guess, or where you're at, sometimes you really need to free yourself up from your ego to let the numbers really percolate, and don't just look at what's coming in. And I guess this is true in real life. Don't just look at what's coming in, look at what the amount of energy it takes to make that happen.
Exactly.
Right? Because if something in your life is drawing a lot of energy away and it's only providing you with a little bit of whatever it is, whether it's financial, whether it's whatever kind of resource it is, whether it's emotional, that some of those things have to be cut out of your life, not necessarily because you want to, because you can't grow unless you do.
Yeah. You gotta, and doesn't have to be an angry thing. Like if you see it in advance, by looking into the future, like Nostradamus did, you can see the landscape, you can see the ground shifting before it actually shifts. And it's an important part of business ownership. So, it's something that I appreciate.
You mentioned bonsai before, right?
Bonsai.
Part of the idea of designing that is you're not clipping these pieces away because they're necessarily healthy or unhealthy, but you're designing your tree, your plant to grow in a certain direction in a way that is aesthetically pleasing to you.
Yes.
So some of the things that you're removing are things that aren't necessarily detrimental to the project as a whole, but it's not doing what you want.
Yeah. It's not serving your needs.
Correct.
And that's a very important component as
And
a business owner.
And it's taking up energy.
Yes. Yeah. So,
right.
And there's this great line from the show Billions. Mike and I are actually watching each other's favorite shows. I'm watching Babylon 5. Mike is watching Billions. Thank you.
Right. Like Tom's trying to get me more business savvy, and I'm trying to get Tom to understand science fiction.
Yes. Oh, yeah, totally. I'm not into science fiction. What?
Yeah, but there's being into science fiction. There's being into science fiction, and then there's getting into Babylon 5.
Okay. So I'm gonna check it out and everything. But there's this line in one of the episodes of Billions. And, for those of you that listen to it, Bobby Axelrod is the main character. By the way, for those of you that don't know, we have a Bobby Axelrod right in Rockland County.
We do?
Yes. Bob Axelrod, Ward, if I'm not mistaken, Ward 1 of the town of Clarkstown. He's going to be on our show on AM Rockland's News in the next few weeks.
What does he do?
He's a town councilman for Clarkstown.
Oh, an elected official.
Yeah, and I was gabbing with him over at a ribbon cutting over at Waymore Fitness.
And he is not anything like
No, completely.
Kind of like
we're laughing about it.
Kind of like our Tom Brady.
Yeah,
is not like the Tom Brady.
Yeah,
he's our Tom Brady.
Exactly. So, and I like having like these double entendre names. And Bob Axelrod, very nice guy. Tom Brady, right? Sports performance coach. And he covered the Albertus Magnus ladies basketball sectional championship for, I think it was on Saturday.
All right.
Yeah, and they won.
I want to, congratulations to them, first of all. But going on to that whole entendre of names. Now, most of the few that we've mentioned, there's like been a Rockland version in like a bigger, more nationally famous or internationally famous. But did you know, I know Tom knows, but our listeners, there are not just one, but two Joe Dursos that both live in Rockland, and you can't even say the one that plays guitar because they both play guitar.
Right. Joe Durso, fantastic. You know.
Both Joe Dursos.
Yeah, totally. You know.
My Joe Durso, North Rockland High School graduate and good friend, has his son played at Stony Music Fest.
That's right. Yeah.
Um,
Joe's Fired was the name of the
Joe's
band.
Fired
Yeah.
because our dear friend Tito, who we mentioned a lot, Joe and Tito were in a band called Joe's Late.
Mm-hmm.
So Tito's nephew and Joe's son, and it was really cool to watch the next generation of musicians come up, because I've been watching Tito and Joe play together since we were teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
And to watch their teenagers pick up some instruments and do the same thing we were doing, it's so heartwarming.
Yep.
One of the things that we've been talking about on our show, and I've been talking to folks about, is about connecting and about getting away from your phone. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have your phone with you or be able to check it or whatever, but like, if you are actively playing an instrument with a couple of your friends, the chances of you being on your phone to the place where you're doom scrolling versus like looking on your phone for chord changes or the lyrics, you're still engaging with people because you're playing music.
There was an artist down in the city that basically she's set up for a week on a cot with some munchies and a phone, and she's making herself an art exhibit while people were walking by, and she's just not paying attention. She's just looking on her phone.
Well, I would like to do the opposite of that, because we have a group, we have an organization called Sponsor Band. And what Sponsor Band does is it takes folks like Joe and Tito and their nephew and son, who have learned their musical instruments, have gotten together with their friends, they practice some songs, and they are ready to play out, and they want to go and play places like Kobe Sushi, play places like District 96, except they don't know how to do it.
Right. And Sponsor Band basically helps to create media kits, advocate for these bands to do well in restaurants, and then on top of that, get them sponsors for their gigs so that they can make more profit for each gig.
Now, if you are a restaurant owner, if you are a venue owner, and you are looking for musicians, contact us at Rockland News.
Yes, rocklandnews.com/alert.
And just kind of give us a note that this is for Sponsor Band and you're looking for some artists, some entertainers,
some help,
right?
And we regularly cultivate those bands and bring them into Stony Music Fest in the past, and now Rockland Music Fest. And can't really announce anything yet. I know I'm being kind of tight-lipped about it, but we'll have some announcements about Rockland Music Fest 12.
Well, I can say that Rockland Music Fest that we did have was at our sponsor, Boulder Stadium.
Exactly, New York Boulder Stadium. Their 2026 season is ready to kick off, and you can learn more about it at nyboulders.com. Mike, we got a few announcements before we finish up.
Okay.
First of all, the Rockland County Youth Bureau is hosting a free 4-H Fit and Fun spring break program.
All right.
It's sponsored by Cornell Cooperative Extension Rockland County 4-H, as well as the Rockland County Youth Bureau and the Village of Spring Valley. So check out this itinerary, Mike.
Okay.
Yoga and meditation, martial arts. Whatcha?
Oh, well, first it's then
whatcha? Yeah, so it's like, you start off like center and then martial arts thing.
I think that's a good way to do it.
There's gardening,
which is also another way to be meditative while giving yourself tomatoes and carrots.
There's outdoor adventures, and there's also dance and Zumba. It's for youths. What is a youth? It's for youths age 8 to 10. That's from grades 3 to 5. It's going to be held on March 30th at the Darden Center in Spring Valley from 9 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. every day from March 30th to April 3rd. You can learn more about it in just a little while on rocklandsnews.com. We'll have all the information out there. And you can also head over to the Rockland County Youth Bureau, that website, in order to learn more. But again, this is going to be on March 30th to April 3rd.
So bring your youngins in. Get some cool learning experience. One of the things that I do with my children, and I noticed this from a place of generation, right? When I was growing up, my dad and I watched Star Trek and Star Wars. That was our thing, right? And with my children, we were speaking about martial arts and that center. We watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I think it's something really cool to have with your kids, that when you find that world building kind of thing that you can get into, and sometimes it's team oriented, like families are all Giants fans, Yankees fans, Jets fans, if they really want to be miserable. Um, but it is so important to connect around something. If we want to go back historically from a place of ancientness, we all got around the fire, which was both warming and entertaining.
Right.
So like places like the Boulder Stadium, places like Kobe Sushi, that are giving us an entertainment outlet and a place that you can really gather with your people while still having libations, having food, and being entertained.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're not working hard, you should be relaxing, eating some good food, being entertained with your folks.
Right. Absolutely. So that's where it's at, man. I'll tell you.
So that circling back, sponsor band. So if you're a musician and you're looking to play, you have your band, you're looking for other musicians, contact us. Tom is a drummer. If you're looking for a drummer, if you are a small business that is looking to sponsor any of these bands or sponsor our show, please reach out to us.
rocklandnews.com/alert.
Alert, alert, alert.
Right.
Actually, that's what Eli Manning used to say all the time.
And then finally, we have a something from Joanio. Diana Hess from Joanio got this over to us. More than 3,000 disability advocates, service providers, families, and allies are expected to gather at Rockland Community College tomorrow, Thursday, for the Rally in the Valley.
We're rallying. What are we rallying for?
Hosted by Joanio and Hudson Valley service providers, the event is aimed at pressuring state and federal lawmakers to strengthen support for disability services across New York.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Organizers are saying that the focus is on direct support, workforce crisis, Medicaid funding, affordability, and long-term system sustainability. Congressman Mike Lawler is expected to address federal policy issues, and advocates are calling for stronger investment ahead of the April 1st state budget deadline.
Now, as I recall, one of our associates had an interview with Mike Lawler.
Correct. Brian Heyman from the Bear Wires podcast.
Right.
Yeah, good point.
Okay.
So Mike really, and you got to check it out. It's a Spotify and Apple podcast as well as YouTube. The Bear Wires podcast. It's video as well as audio. And he sat down with Mike Lawler and he asked him a lot of questions, not just about the politics, but more about the person behind the office that he is currently in, really just trying to deep dive into his background, story, where he comes from. He lived, resident of Pearl River, or he lived in Pearl River. I forget if he lives in Pearl River, but I'm pretty sure he's in Rockland still.
But if you go to Bear Wires, you can
Right,
find out.
you can find out,
right?
exactly, yeah.
So,
But the funny and the interesting thing is he has political roots that go back to like hundreds of years ago, like the 1800s in New York City.
I mean, his name is Lawler. So a person who creates law. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good one. Good one, Mike.
Not all
So
of
you
them.
gotta check it
Not
out.
all of them are great.
Go to the Bear. No, I mean, listen, and again, the basically the modus operandi we mentioned at the beginning of the show today is if there's a new logo that we're creating at the end of the day, it's called Ass Dragon.
As
Dragon. Yeah,
that's just for today.
One S.
I thought it was a Z.
As Dragon.
As
A to Z Dragon.
Maybe.
Something like that.
Anyway, so Bear Wires talk with Mike Lawler, as we at AM Rockland like to talk to our elected officials. Brian was speaking with Mike Lawler about lots of things. I have heard lots of things on both sides about Lawler, but I encourage everyone who wants to know and wants to be informed to go check out this interview.
Yeah, totally. Getting back to the Joanio event, it's going to be tomorrow, Thursday, at Rockland Community College. So definitely check it out. It's of interest. I should also note that there's a Reddit Rocklands group that has gotten on my case, and I'm going to quote one specific person that said that I should open up like a personal training company and go into that instead of doing news.
I thought you were an inspirational guy.
Yeah, right.
You
You're
inspire
the
me.
inspirational guy, Mike. Come on, let's face it.
Should we play some Chicago tunes right now?
Let's go to Whole
You're
Shot
my
Bagels and talk about it. We're
inspiration.
definitely getting a bacon, a sausage, egg, and cheese, or a bacon, egg, and cheese today over at
Bacon,
Whole
egg, and
Shot
cheese.
Bagels. Yeah.
People from
I think
not,
I'm just gonna
people
go-
from not the tri-state area do not understand what the word bacon, egg, and cheese means.
I think I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna go in my robe and bunny slippers down
I mean,
there.
oh, you know my rule. You have to wear a hat.
I will wear a hat, and I'll also wear pants.
Pants are good
Pants
because
are-
sometimes you just walk around with the robe.
That's also true. I saw that picture the other day when we went down to Key Bank, and I went in wearing a robe and bunny slippers in order to make
With a fedora.
with a fedora.
He was
'cause
wearing a fedora.
He had to top it off. So anyway, so we're gonna do that. We'll be off in a few moments. We want to thank our sponsors. Mike, this was an interesting show.
I mean, aren't they all interesting?
They are interesting, but this was more interesting than the average bear, I would say.
But if you like to support our rambling, our interesting, our creativity, our sing-songy, telling you the news and telling you what's up, please reach out to us. We have a list of sponsors. We're always looking for more.
Yeah. And you
Re-
can check us out. Like, if for those of you that are interested in advertising or letting people know about it, go to rocklandsnews.com/advertise. And quite frankly, you can see we got almost 600,000 views last year. 1,000 to 2,000 people listen to the show every day. Thank you to our loyal friends and those that we know for many years that have jumped in and listened to the show and participated, as well as to our elected officials that really add some officiality to the show.
right. And to our listeners,
Mhm.
hit the likes, do the thumbs up things, hit the subscribe buttons, and do all the things that help us get more feedback and understand that we're doing things that are being helpful to you.
Absolutely. So let's talk about our sponsors for a moment. Let's finish the show off with the voice from the heavens, the lovely Ilana. Thank you for being here today.
You're listening to Rockland News, available on Apple, Spotify, and online at rocklandnews.com. Thanks for joining us today. Here are your hosts, Tom Osa and Mike Kluger.
And just one more time, we want to thank our sponsors on Rockland's News. We have the New York Boulders baseball team.
Put the rock in Rockland.
Yeah, Work Smart New York Business Boot Camp coming up at the end of April 2026.
Yabu
Fence Company located in West Nyack, New York, yabufence.com. Dana Pest Control, Easy Temp located in Hackensack, New Jersey for all your ice machine repairs.
Kobe Sushi with their jazz music lounge on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And if you mention our show, you get 15% off if you spend $75 or more.
Susan Bover from Coldwell Banker Realty, Full Shot Bagels. We'll be back in a few. Talk to you soon.